Recording is on.
Let's create employee theory and let's put, I'm sure you must have done a boolean, a true or false. Let's say true and what? False. So if we run employee 2, let's call employee 2 to be printed out, this guy. By default, Tuple understand the data type that, yeah, this is a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then employee theory, let's call employee theory. So when we call employee theory, by default, Tuple understand a boolean, a true or a false. By default, Tuple understand a true and a false statement. So now there's one thing. Now that we have a true and false statement, nobody's asking question that, wait, oh, what if this our data, this employee now, can't the employee no have numbers? Can't the employee no have a true or false? Well, since nobody's asking, let's leave it like that. So employee can also have numbers by default 1, 2, 3, and we put this guy here. Then when we click on run, let's see what happened to him. If we break the code or what. Okay, we are printing out employee 3. Let's print out employee 2, employee 1, sorry. That's this guy. So when we click on run, we should get what? A string and what? By default a number and what again? A string. So by default, inside your values or item, Tuple understand what? He understand the data type. He understand that this guy is a string, this guy is a what? A number, this guy is a boolean, this guy is a string again, and this guy is a what? Boolean. I can also put boolean. This guy is a boolean. So by default, it will run. Python Tuple understand that this guy is a string, this a number, this a string again, and this what? A boolean by default. So moving on. So oh, they even did it here. So tuple can contain what? Different what? Data type. I never knew they did it here. So ABC, like we talked about, the age, a true 40 is a male. So by default, tuple can understand that. So this is what we talked about, type, to know the type of data we are dealing with. So it told us this is a class of what? A tuple. So when we talked about constructors, I think the last class we talked about constructors. We partially did about constructors. I told you what constructors are, that you can use them around your code if you're around the class. So constructor, you can call those class again. So Python collections, this is like a repetition of what we talked about earlier. There are 4 collection data type in Python. What's the list? The list is a collection which is ordered and changeable. Allow duplicate member. Remember the list, which is array. When you are working with arrays, all those lists, that's using this guy. See it. Let me say this. I can call it list is equals to this. When you are using this guy, remember, when you are using this guy, let's say 1, 2, 3. So this is a list. When you work with list, yeah. So lists are what? Changeable. They can change in state. So lists are which is ordered. They are in ordered form. They're in a good form. They can stay alphabetically well, and they can what? They can change. Meaning you can modify them. You can delete them from the database. They allow what? Duplicate members also. We can add many members inside. So tuple is a collection which is ordered and what? Unchangeable, which we just did now. They're in ordered form, but they are unchangeable. There are some things when you store them on the database already, there are some things you can't change again. So we talked about set. Set is a collection which is unordered. So when we talked about set on the last class, this matters now, it will change, it will scatter all these tests. It will not be in a ordered form. They will be very scattered. Why? 1, 2, 3 will not show like this. It will be showing 4, 2, 3, 1 in set when we talked about set. So dictionary is a collection which is what? Ordered and changeable. Like in the other class, I told you I love using dictionaries in some cases because why? Dictionaries are in order form and they can change in what? In state. So tuple is no big deal. Do not stress your brain on it. It's like sets. If you follow us on sets, so it will be very easy for you to understand the tuples and dictionary. So accessing the tuple. Now remember when we talked about accessing tuple, we use our what? Index to access the value. Now your employee has told you that, hey, data analyst X, we want to find out the name of what? Let's say we are looking for the name of Adams. Bring Adams to the list. Print Adams is
Live
details.
streaming is on.
Print print Adams details. Remember, this Martins is not only going to be taking Martins, so it's going to be taking big data. Inside this Martins, it might have contain my information, everything about me, my health, every single thing about me. So it's not going to only be having what? Martins. So now if the employer has said print this guy, I want to see the result of what? Martins. Print him out to the screen. I want to see all his detail. How do we do that? So remember, the same way apply. You use your print statement and you say print what we are calling first. What do you think we are calling employee, right? Followed by what? Your square bracket. So remember, take note, all array starts with what? 0. So now remember, Martins is what? 0. So if we put 0 inside this place and we run, what happens? It prints Martins. So everything about Martins, every single thing concerning only Martins will show to what? Your manager. So if you say print what? Moses, so we are counting 0, 1, and 2. So if we come here and put number 2 and we click on run, it will print what? Moses. Same thing apply. If we are printing this user, how do we do it? Somebody should tell me. If we are printing user, how do we get this user? Let me widen my screen for you to count. You can just suggest without raising up your hand, unmute your mic, and anyone that knows the answer. We want to print out user now. This user.
8.
Okay, so it's 8. Let's check if you are correct. So if we run, we got user 8. So why was it 8? Why do you think it was 8? How did you get the 8? Can you explain to us quickly?
Yes, I started with 0, but Martins is 0. The
Okay.
numerical
1, 2,
there is 1.
3,
Moses
4,
2, 3.
5, 6, 7, 8. Correct. So yeah, that's how we got the 8. So, but you need to take note that there's a but to get that 8. Okay, someone say would like to participate. Okay, yes, you can unmute your mic and tell me. Okay, let me ask you, get Adams for me. Yes, Mr. Abigail, you can
Sorry,
unmute your
please.
mic.
I got lost in this last explanation, please.
Okay, so let me start again. So in employee, but you get it to this point.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. So now we are calling our print statements now. Print, right? Followed by your open parenthesis, which you know already. Right? Hello, Mrs. Abigail.
I'm with you, sir. I'm with you. I can hear
Okay.
you, sir.
So you get it to this point, right? To this
Yes,
print.
I do.
Okay, now,
Yes, I do.
for example, all these users in this employee variable, all these users, Martins, okay, let me put your name so that it will be very easy now. So you can understand it. Let me create a name for you. Let me add your name here and call it Mrs. Abigail. So your name has been added to where? This employee list. Now your manager is telling you, we need to get Mrs. Abigail details, everything about her. We want to promote her. Just get me Mrs. Abigail details. I want to see all the services she has done for the company. What do? Forget about this print statement now. Look at this place. There is a type. We use what? This index. This your square bracket. That's what we use. You will use this your square bracket and calculate the number. Remember, array starts with what? 0. So automatically this guy is 0. Do you understand?
Yes, I'm following. I'm back on track.
Okay,
Thank you.
so this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is what? This is 5. You are number 5 in that employee list. So this is 5. So now if we come here inside this square bracket, we just have to put what? 5 here. So now how to print it? Now if we put 5 here and click on run, it will not run. So we need to go and put this square bracket where? Inside this print statement. But take note, before we put it inside this print statement, we need to call what? This employee variable inside here. So we need to call employee MP. When we call this employee, see what happens when we call this employee first. When you only call employee, see what happens. Print out all the employee in the organization. Are you seeing it? So it printed out all the employee in the organization, but it did not print out a specific employee, which is you. So now, because we want to get you in that employee and you are number what? As we calculated, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are number 5. We will use what? Our square brackets, right? And put what? Number 5. So if we click on run here and we go there, we will get every detail concerning you, Mrs. Abigail. Many details will be coming out, not just your name. Every single thing about you, your service for the company and the rest. So to see if you understand it, can you try? What is the okay? So there's Lookman here. Can you print Lookman? Tell me, what do I have to do? Imagine there's no print here and we're trying to access Lookman. Okay, let's not use Lookman. We are trying to access Adams. Okay, give it a try. You can unmute your mic.
Okay, to print Adams.
Yes.
Adams will now be, that's 5, 6, 7. Adams will now be 8.
Okay, Adams should
Adams will
be
now
8.
be, yes, Adams will be 8. So what we'll do print,
Okay, I'm
then
following you now.
bracket,
Okay, wait.
yes.
You don't rush me. Okay, what am I putting inside the print?
We'll put employee, EMP,
Okay.
and then we'll put our square bracket 7.
Okay, 7, right? So if I
Yes.
click on run, let's see. Okay, we got Lookman. Lookman was number 7.
Okay, that should have been 8. Sorry.
Okay, yes. Yes, developers are
That's
prone to
8.
get errors. You must get errors. Yeah. So we get what? Adams. So you've gotten it. So Adams
Thank you,
has
sir.
been gotten from the employee. So it will always stick for you for life. So as okay, you can see now it's still telling us, say the first item has 0 index. So remember what I just taught you is array starts with what? If you remember array start with 0. So when you are calculating, when you see stuff like this, always know that it will start with 0 from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the end. So let's move on. Okay, say negative indexing means start from the end. Yeah. So what they did here, not too much. I will not be writing too much. So he said -1. Are you seeing? Yeah, he's still calling the variable. Don't be confused. He's calling what? This guy, this tuple, inside where the print, right? People agree. Anybody
Yes,
can
sir.
mute. Okay, yes. So now
Yes,
it's
sir.
saying to get the last person in that database. Who is the last? Sometimes, let me tell you. Let me quickly, because I have no much time now. In a database now, they are telling you, okay, we want to get somebody the highest, the late comer, the okay. How do I put this now? Person where they come late for the site in that variable. So that last person now, imagine the employee say the late comer is the person that we want to give an award to. How do you do it? We just need the last person. So you don't need to go and be calculating the last person. All we need to come is this our employee form, and we say what? Minus 1. That's all. So when you click on run, we will get the last person, user. So who is the last person here? Is user. So no big thing, it's just minus 1. Minus 1 is telling you starting from the back. No need to think of it. Just say minus 1. It's starting from the back. So no, it's nothing to think of or to worry about. So also range of index. You can also get a range of index. You can specify a range of indexing by specifying where the list ended from. The same way. So what was range doing here? So if you see what it was doing here, all this place, you guys understand it now. The only problem now is this 2:5, right? So it's very easy in this 2:5. Just take notes and watch what is happening. So what is 2:5 doing? Remember our array starts with what? 0, right? This is 0. So remember this is 1. So automatically this is 2. So what this 2:5 is doing is saying start from what? Sherry. So 2 is doing Sherry, which is number 2. Sherry, we are putting our what? This our double dot. We are putting the double dot. So it's starting from here 0, 1, 2. So it's starting from 2, right? Then we are saying 2, 3, 4, 5, which will give us what? Kiwi. So we put 5 and we click on run and we get what? Orange and kiwi. Why we got orange and kiwi? This last 5. Do you know what is happening to the last 5? This last 5 is counting as a normal, the normal way you count your normal thing. It's not counting as 0 again. It's starting here from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what this 5 is doing. So, but the first one, this first one, what it's doing is starting from where? 0, 0, 1, 2. So it's starting from where? Sherry here. Sherry to what? It says Sherry to print what? To print from the beginning, which is 1, to where? To the end, where you want it to end, which is 5. If we say 6, it will print what? Melon. That's why putting the 6 where? At the end. This 5, we are removing the 5, putting the 6 there. So melon, from Sherry to melon. So it will now say Sherry, orange, kiwi, and what? Melon. So if we say mango, mango is now what? Number 7. If we put 7, it will give us what? Mango. The same thing in our employees, so don't get confused. So when we come here, the same way, when we come to our employee place, we can say what? Where do you want to print from? Can somebody help out? Somebody can unmute, then help out. I want the class to be very, so you can know what you are doing. There's no time again, so we can rush. Can somebody help out?
Sorry, I didn't get your questions.
Like now, we have a list of what? Employees here. We want to now print now from this guy to the end of this guy. How do we do it? Using that stuff that I taught you now.
So I think we can use is it not -1?
We are starting from here. We want to start from here.
Okay, we want
One,
to
two,
start
three.
from there. So,
Yes.
Okay, so that would be one, then
Okay.
semicolon
Wait.
minus
One semicolon and what?
minus one.
Okay, let's see. Minus one. So when we run, let's see what we get. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We got Moses, we got True, we got Adam, we got Mrs. Abigail, we got Daniel, we got Lukman, we got Adams. But we did not get what? User. You kicked user out. You go remove user. Oh. See, user don't come out. Abi, see, you remove user, but you tried. That's nice. So user now automatically has been kicked out because why? You minus the last guy. So now this last place now, how do we do it? So we count
You can,
one. Okay, tell me. Okay, tell me.
if you run it like this, it will print it like that. It will print it.
Okay, yes, it will print it, but we want to use the end like a ratio. Yes, if you run it like this, it prints from here to all the users. But imagine we want to just know the specific amount of people here from there to the end. How do we do it? So we can start by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are a total of 10 users in that company. So you put 10 at the end. So when you run, you will get from 1, 2, 3, 4 to where? To the user, which is number 10. I hope no question.
No.
Okay. So let me quickly
I,
move on. Okay. Does
no
someone else
problem.
go? Okay.
No problem, sir. I thought you said the last array is usually minus one
Yes, minus one to get where? The last array. Remember,
only.
see, when we
Okay,
do minus one, just minus one, it gets where?
the
Let's
user
print it
array.
and see. It get what?
User,
User. So
user.
it's getting what? The only last guy. But the question was that from 1, 2, 3, 4 or from Moses, get all the total number till the end.
Okay,
Uh, yes.
okay.
So because exactly, so get it till the end of the users we have in that company. So if you say minus one in that place, you are removing the last person by default.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So also, like he said now, we also have this way to access everything in the user. You can use, let's say from zero, since we're starting from zero, and you just use this guy. You can print from here to the end automatically. Imagine we don't know the amount of users, you understand, in that company. You don't have to go and be counting database to see how many users. We have 5,000 users. You cannot count database. So we can use zero from zero to where? From zero to the end. That's what this thing does. Yes. So you can also say from one to the end. It still prints from 1, 2, 3, 4 to the end of the user. So that's why we use this one. So it will get you all the users. So to rush very fast because of time. Okay, an if statement. An if statement. Using an if statement. Yes, apple is in fruit couple. These if statements are very, very important. Do you talk about if statements? Okay, I think that is a separate class for another time. I don't know, Mr. Yemen. I don't know if they've thought about if statements.
Okay, I think we're supposed to take it. Each statement is
Okay.
mm,
So for now, just let it slide. Then when time comes, you understand more better in if statements. But I can let me just give you a brief explanation so that when that time comes, you will understand what the if statement does. So this if statement, so
Matthias.
this if statement,
Just explain
oh,
what you can. I think it has been treated,
okay.
but
So
explain it.
what this if? Okay.
Mm.
So what this if statement is doing is the most important thing in all programming language. Now I want to use pidgin English. So imagine now you have a son and you send the son and say, John, go and buy me coke in supermarket. When that son, you are sending the son a first instruction. You are saying, go and buy me what? Coke. Then the son now asks you, say, mommy, oh, there is no coke. What will I buy? If there is no coke, what are you buying? You are telling your son, if no coke, buy what? Pepsi. Abi? So that's what if statement is doing. If no coke, buy Pepsi. If no Pepsi, return my money for me. That's what this if statement is doing. So yeah, in each company now, they are asking you, it's just make your life very easy. So they are asking you now to check. You see, is Martins inside that employee? Do we have apple in the house? Okay, let me change it to banana. So if banana in this list, right? Is here, print what? Yes, banana, yes, banana is in fruit tuple. If I run it, it will give me banana unless I have a typo. So yes, banana is in fruit tuple. So that's how if statements work. So in this our list now, if we want to run a if statement, we can say if what? Let's check. If Mr. Adams
Hello, hello. I think Mr. Instructor Matthias is having some network issues. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I think Instructor Matthias is having network issues. Just wait for him a little so that you reconnect. Wow. So finally it was confirmed I think he's having network issues. So maybe while we wait for him, okay. So while we wait for him, let's just be discussing. Let's just be discussing around almost the same but different topic. So Mr. Abigail and Mrs. Sonto, there was an announcement that I made last week, and I've seen the response from Mr. Abigail, Mrs. Abigail, sorry. Then Mr. Sonto, I've not heard your response.
My response concerning what, sir?
Okay, I asked that based on us to increase the number of hours, either we increase the number of time we're spending for one class, or we increase the number of times we meet in a week, or we add an extra week to our training because of the volume of work we need to cover. Because if you must agree with me, we're in our week 4, and if you see what we're treating today based on our curriculum is what we're supposed to be treated in week 3. And if we moved space of the curriculum, we may not be able to give you the best that we should have given. So we just decided that we'll move at a slower speed, yet our best and ensure that we'll make sure everything goes fine. So I was asking, which of those three options do we agree on going with?
Okay, for me, I would prefer the last option. Extra 1 week, extra week, not 1 week.
Okay, extra 1 week.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Let me quickly check on the group. I think yesterday someone else too responded, gave that response of an extra 1 week. Okay. So we're going with extra 1 week, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. So two persons have told accepted with extra 1 week. Invariably, that means we'll be adding an extra 1 week, which means next week is going to be our last training. I just contacted our instructor, Matthias, and he said his network is really bad and he won't be able to rejoin. So we're most likely gonna end the class here. But on Wednesday, when we come, we'll continue from where he stopped. It is expected that by the end of this week, we should have finished everything on week 3 and possibly entered week 4's work, so that by next week we'll take our time and study. um we'll take our time and do we'll take our time and do numpy, pandas, matplotlib, cbon, power bi. Those are the things we are going to cover next week: numpy, pandas, matplotlib, cbon and power bi. They are not difficult, they are not as complicated as this one we just did. So that's the announcement that I have for today, and thank you for being in class today. We finished earlier than we should.
I have a question.
Okay.
Hope you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
You said, you said we would treat NumPy, pandas. What of
We'll do
plot
that.
something
Yes,
the one they're using to plot graph.
exactly. I called it to you. You didn't hear.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear.
Okay, I said we are doing NumPy, pandas, matplot, cbon and power bi. Yes, so we'll treat those ones
Okay.
next week. The reason why we can do all of them next week because they are not as difficult. This is the main work. As we have done this work now, this one once we are done with this one, which will be done this week, we can even start numpy on Friday. So once we are done with this one now, we don't the rest they are no longer difficult. It's just application of the things we have learned so far. So thank you for coming to class. What was the last thing he taught? So that I would take note of it. What was the last thing he was teaching? Somto, please.
Uh,
What
if statement.
okay, if
If
statement.
statement.
If statement. Let me check. Was that what was allocated? Okay, okay, okay. No problem. No problem. So he's going to continue from there on Wednesday. And I think on Wednesday he'll be done with has he treated tuples and dictionaries with you?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay. Alright, alright. It's alright. So we'll continue on Wednesday. Thank you for coming to today's class. See you guys on Wednesday. Good night,
All right.
everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, good night, good night.